Las Vegas. If you're a big gambler, you can count on the red carpet being rolled out in style.
Welcome back to the Venetian.
Limos, luxury, lavishness. It's what a high roller in Vegas has come to expect.
I own the hotel. I don't get treated as good as we treat our customers.
But there's a new breed of high roller hanging out in Las Vegas. Younger, trendier, and flashier.
The highs are the greatest because the money's flowing, the tips are going, everybody loves you, especially the girls.
These new high rollers aren't interested in the Liberace luxury that defined Las Vegas in decades past. They demand perks that reflect their tastes and interests. And if the casinos want them to play and lose, they'll have to give them what they want. Welcome to an inside look at the new generation of gamblers on High Rollers Vegas, the new breed.
Action!
In a town where indulgence is the name of the game, there are players for whom casinos pull out all the stops. These players are the high rollers.
Oh! Who called that? Who called that?
The gamblers for whom betting $10,000 or even $50,000 a hand is no big deal.
For these folks, they could lose $1,000 a hand day after day after day, and they're not going to care because it has very little impact on their bank books.
Premium players are members of a very exclusive club, but it's a club whose membership is changing, and casino executives are noticing a different kind of high roller at the tables.
I won again? This is too easy.
It's easy to distinguish the older high roller and the new high roller. I have approximately 27 guys that'll say risk $500,000 to $5 million on a weekend. Now the older high roller is just more conservative. The younger generation never had to go to war, never had to worry about being drafted. They're more risk takers. So believe it or not, most of my $1 million players are under 40, not over 40.
Steve Sear is a casino host at one of the hottest properties in Las Vegas, the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's the Hard Rock that has captured the attention of many of the younger high rollers. But just who are these new kids on the Strip?
My gamblers are restaurant owners. They own their own businesses. They're entrepreneurs. They're traders. They take risks.
High-stakes risk takers that include the sports television personality who loves the Las Vegas scene, and his friend, the chiropractor who comes in from Chicago. The wealthy investor who makes Las Vegas his home, but spends the weekends in the casinos. The businessman who hit it big in telemarketing. And the athlete whose entourage is as welcome as he is. And of course, there are the so-called dot-commers whose instant wealth earns them an upgrade to high roller status.
18? But I need one more to beat your 20, don't I?
What we have found is that there were a lot of dot-commers that made an awful lot of money that came in and became quite big high rollers. And in some cases, they became whales. So where they could win or lose millions of dollars in one sitting.
At the hotels that target high rollers, a high roller's losses can be a big win for the casino. So they lure this new generation of players by creating a more exciting atmosphere.
Ground zero for young gamblers is the Hard Rock and Mandalay Bay. They're trendy, they're hot, they're built on music, they're built on sexuality, lots of alcohol, and that's where you see the 21 to 40-year-old crowd gambling. In particular at the Hard Rock, one of the things that they see over there, a lot of Silicon Valley money, especially before the NASDAQ bust. And you had a lot of young guys coming in who figured that they had learned how to play blackjack by buying a software program.
Paul Baker didn't learn how to play blackjack off a software program, but he did learn how to make it big in the computer industry. This 30-something executive from a major internet provider is the epitome of the new breed of high rollers that's taking Las Vegas by storm. He's young, he's hip, he loves to gamble, and the Hard Rock eagerly awaits him. But before he sits down to play, he'll receive first-class treatment by the Hard Rock hosts.
Let me say something about the casino hosts and the VIP people. That's where the perks start, and they always treat me well. In fact, I'm in a celebrity suite this weekend. I didn't ask for it.
You know, what's interesting is in Hollywood, the star gets the treatment. In Vegas, the player gets the treatment. So a lot of stars want the big suites. No, they're for gamblers. That's what's cool. The player here gets the 8 o'clock dinner reservation, not the celebrity.
While Paul prepares to toss some chips around, celebrities who he's possibly bumped from their suites begin to play as well.
Here, I like to have a good time, you know, and spread my wealth throughout the world. So it's all love in the house. You know that. You know that.
21.
But even when a player loses, the Hard Rock knows that the atmosphere will keep these young high rollers around the hotel and eventually back at the tables.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
See, the key is to lose when you have the small money, and when you have the big money out, you win. It's an easy game.
But the Hard Rock knows not all gamblers are solely focused on playing cards. They like to play outside the casino as well. While Paul Baker cuts the deck with his lucky NFL game card, Hard Rock host Steve Sear is entertaining another client off premises. For avid gambler Denny Mason, a semi-retired businessman who made his fortune in telemarketing, it's an easy call. He can gamble at any casino in Vegas, but the key to keeping his business is giving him anything he wants.
What Steve does is he rarely says no, you know, I've always tried to be imaginative in my request, and he's always said, you know, yes. Very rarely has he said no to me, and so, I mean, that makes life a little nicer. Whatever concert comes to town, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Any kind of event, the rooms are great. You can, all your friends are always, you know, wanting to go to dinner here and dinner there, and those are little perks that you can give all your friends and stuff like that.
All those perks are designed to lure the player back to the table.
No wonder you guys all dress so well. I bought your suit. You know that? Okay, but it looks good on you.
There's two types of players. Ones that are here for a cost of entertainment, and you love those guys. They don't, win or lose doesn't matter. They're just here to have fun. Then there's a guy coming here to win. You got to watch that guy. So there's definitely two types of players. You know, a guy that wins Friday night, okay, if he's a steamer, he's going to steam, probably blows winnings and buy Sunday only money. Okay, a guy that's disciplined Friday will go home Saturday. So there's definitely two types of players.
Could I pay like $100 just to see my first card, and then you get that?
What?
I guess that's a no.
It's a tough question. It's a no. Whenever you get a that's a no.
Paul Baker continues to play at the blackjack table, while Denny Mason plays a friendly hand at the dinner table. A high roller can find a game anywhere.
You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. You know, when you're betting large sums of money, get your adrenaline going. Somebody's always winning at the table, so somebody's in a good mood, and if it's a losing table, you just move on. Timing is everything in life.
You know, the games are so slanted. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have around the world, is that the games are like, you know, 50-50 or close to 50-50. I mean, you're lucky if you win 1 in 10 times.
13 and 21. See, this is where the part where you think it's going the wrong way, and you should just cover up and take your money out, but nobody does it. They just keep pushing, because that way Hard Rock doesn't make any money. And if you don't make money off people, then you would close down, and I would have nowhere to go. So I'm now doing this for you guys.
Okay.
If you don't have a vision in life, you'll go nowhere. And if you spend all your time in Vegas, you'll go nowhere. That's why I only come in on weekends.
Because of the weekend warriors like Paul Baker and Denny Mason, everywhere on the Strip, casinos are redefining opulence and luxury with an eye toward the hip high roller.
Over a period of time, maybe the last 5 years or so, as the city has evolved, so we found that we've had to change what we try and do to attract new customers.
Good evening, and welcome to The Shadow.
Caesar's Palace, which has long been a player in the high roller seduction game, is among the properties looking to attract the new hip high roller. The challenge, according to casino executives, is to find the right balance. What appeals to the private conservative high roller may not be attractive to the flashy hip high roller.
They want sex, sizzle, and elegance. Some of the properties cater maybe more to the one style, some to the other. We're trying to find that middle road that accommodates everyone.
Insiders say it's the perks, not the gambling, that bring customers back time and time again. And competition to entice and excite is fierce in a city that offers everything from the canals of Venice to the surf of Montego Bay, all within a couple of miles.
The younger demographics, the younger high rollers, as you might call them, are looking for entertainment, fine dining, wonderful shows that they probably cannot see anywhere else. And we're quite happy to offer that to them. People come here, they don't really sleep. You come here for 3 days, you stay awake for 3 days, you have an all-out entertainment blitz, then you go home and you sleep.
Whether it's poolside or barside, inside or outside, upstairs or downstairs, hip rollers are given all-access exposure to the fine things in life.
You know, if you lose enough, you'll have a bad night. But, you know, to me, you'll have a bad few hours. You'll go have something to eat. You'll go take a shower and you'll go out to see a show and you'll forget about it. And you'll remember why you're there, which is to have fun.
On the Strip and off, casinos are refocusing their perks to appeal to a younger crowd. At the Hard Rock Casino, the beautiful people, popular music, and the memorabilia combine to create a hip roller's paradise. But that doesn't mean there isn't still an audience for the gilded mirrors and marbled tile luxury some of the other hotels offer. The key is knowing the player well enough to anticipate what he thinks defines the ultimate in luxury. Whether it's a poolside cabana with bikini-clad waitresses or a gold-leafed lobster served on fine china. Knowing what pleases is the way to win over the high roller. Casinos count on their hosts to get that information for them.
And it's a real interesting relationship to watch between gambler and host.
As paid employees of the casino, it's the host who helps decide how to seduce these hip high rollers.
We have to keep up with the younger high roller and just finding unique things for him to do. I don't want him to spend that money and go to Hawaii or Europe. I want him to spend that money and come to Vegas. I'm definitely the customer's ticket to paradise. He can play blackjack anywhere. Why play with me? Because I'm going to get him the best limits, the best discounts, the best upfront money. Okay, last night, you know, we took a customer on a helicopter and a yacht just for dinner. I'm going to make it unique for him. Next week, I'm going to take customers to a bowling tournament just so they can bowl with Reggie Miller and Charles Barkley. I'm going to make it fun for him. If he wants a golf lesson with Tiger Woods, I can get it on.
Like the Hard Rock, Mandalay Bay is appealing to a younger crowd by offering trendy alternatives to the conservative luxury of Vegas past, including providing the high roller and his guests anything they want, whenever they want it.
When you are a premium player, when you're a high roller, we'll not only get you in very quickly, we'll get you the best seat in the house, we'll provide you with whatever it is you're requesting, whether it's Beluga caviar, whether it's Cristal champagne. We have it at Mandalay Bay.
And no matter what it costs, no matter how hard it is to get, the casino will usually provide it for free. In Las Vegas, the weekend tourist and honeymooner crowd keep the casino floors and poolsides buzzing. But it's the premium player, the high roller, that helps pay the casino bills. That's why the best things in Vegas are free, as long as you're willing to risk $500,000 to have it.
What a casino wants with a high roller is they want a shot at their bank book.
Dave Burns has spent years researching and understanding the life of the highest of the high rollers, known as whales, for his book, Whale Hunting in the Desert. He says casinos who attract high rollers are ultimately rewarded by an increase in revenue.
For the biggest casinos, you know, that really bank on high rollers, Bellagio, MGM Grand, the Venetian, Mandalay Bay, these guys can contribute as much as 15% in revenues per quarter. And that's a huge impact on the top line, let alone on the bottom line.
To better grasp the potential impact on the bottom line, every level of premium player is defined by how much he's willing to risk at the tables. And it's the level of play that can determine just how much attention and how many perks a player receives from hotel management. Hotels may define a high roller differently. The Venetian goes after the biggest of the big.
And as sort of a lower-end high roller would be somebody who bet from $1,000 a hand to $5,000 a hand. Then you would have somebody who could bet from $5,000 to $20,000, $25,000 a hand. That's a high roller. I mean, that's a serious high roller. And then from $25,000 to $50,000 or $75,000 would be the biggest high rollers. And then come the whales. They start at $75,000 or $100,000 a hand.
This is the only table you'll find Sheldon Adelson playing. As owner of the Venetian, he can't gamble with his guests. But that doesn't stop him from going after the biggest players in the world.
We're reaching out to the high end of the market, the very high end of the market. And at that end of the market, there are the whales. Now, the whales are players that could win or lose millions of dollars in one sitting.
Millions that can become tens of millions over time, as long as you keep your player happy enough to want to return. That happiness starts with round-the-clock attention and free perks, which are called comps by the industry insiders. This is what Sheldon Adelson terms the reinvestment factor. Spending money to make money.
What does it cost to get the customer? The reinvestment factor becomes very substantial when you have a player that's betting $100,000, $150,000 a hand.
And since the house always has the advantage, the longer that player stays at the table, the more likely the player will lose. In spite of enticing offers, the casinos risk losing more than they win if they misjudge just how loyal a customer will be.
The one thing that casinos hate about high rollers are high rollers who are what they call hit-and-run gamblers. Somebody who comes in, gambles for a couple of hours, wins some money, and leaves.
To avoid hit-and-run gamblers, the hotels put together exceptional packages for the player, designed to keep them at the hotel, and in turn, keep them gambling.
They throw those perks at you for a reason. I mean, they're a corporation, they got to make money, but the perks work. You know, they know what they're doing. They know when to give you a free room, when to upgrade you, when to give you the cabana, when to give you the tickets. It works for me. I don't keep count. I can't say there's a leisure where I'm ahead of the Hard Rock or they're ahead of me. I think it's a nice, you know, mutually beneficial relationship.
In an effort to keep players like Paul in Las Vegas, different casinos use different strategies. At the Venetian, owner Sheldon Adelson says his experience in the computer industry taught him a lot about dealing with people.
There's the hardware and the software. What's really important to the customer is the software. Without the software, you can't make the computers run. And without the software, you can't make the customer happy in a casino. And our software are our employee base. We call them team members because we all work as a team.
Also, I need housekeeping to come in and clean this pool table here, please.
Meet Mario, the Venetian Hotel's secret weapon in the war to win a new breed of high rollers.
Yeah, I'm in the presidential suite right now. Make sure that his favorite key lime pie is brought up, the 12 chocolate-covered strawberries.
Head butler Mario Pasanavis is the go-to guy for anything the high roller or his guest might need.
Also, bring down the terry cloth slippers also, please. He's due in around 15 minutes. We have all our high rollers, their suites are basically connected to our butler's pantry. So we all have our radios with our earpieces so we can talk through our sleeve, basically. That way we can ensure proper communication and a split-second service.
Preparation for a high roller's arrival means coordinating logistics that differ from client to client.
Every day is different. You come to work in the morning and you don't know what to expect. Every person's different, different cultures, different backgrounds, so it's unpredictable. So it's not one of those jobs where you're going to be doing something every day monotonously.
But while the luxury-loving hip high roller at the Venetian is enjoying imported cigars, the Hard Rock is luring its player with a tempting combination of sex, drinks, and rock and roll.
For instance, I don't know her, and she's just here because of my cabana. And I gotta thank RJ for that. Hi, honey.
Hi, baby.
The wealthiest players in Vegas know the keys to this kingdom are free, as long as they return time and time again to wager big bucks. But win or lose, their time away from the tables will definitely be spent in style. In the Venetian's 5,200 square foot presidential suite, hip high rollers are treated to every possible luxury. Fireplaces in the master bedroom. A sunken tub and marble tile in the bathroom. A private exercise room. The grand piano, which can be played or not. The media room is the perfect place for the high roller to check out the latest Hollywood blockbuster, or if desired, satellite-delivered sporting events and other hard-to-get programming can be provided. Across the hall, guests of the high roller can play a friendly game of pool in its billiards room, outfitted with leather banquettes and marble-top tables for resting drinks from the fully stocked bar. Paying for this suite would cost over $10,000 a night. But at the Venetian, high rollers don't pay a single dime. The presidential suite is reserved for the high roller, and everything that comes with it is free, including the services of Mario.
We're going for the more affluent end of that market, more sophisticated Generation X, as you might say. If they fly in commercially, we'll have people at the airport. They get into a luxurious limousine. They're typically whisked right directly to their room, and somebody accompanies them to their room. There's none of this check-in procedures and signing and credit cards. A man might come in and go to Mikimoto and either be given a set of pearls from us as one of the amenities, or buy a set of pearls from the world-famous Mikimoto. We might send the gentleman himself into Palzolari and be outfitted with some beautiful Palzolari suits. They say they get up in the morning and they want to feel comfortable. We'll send them in for a Razoul treatment in the Razoul massage of the world-famous Canyon Ranch. We have Valentino's Restaurant, which is the #1 Italian restaurant according to Forbes FYI and Bon Appetit and Gourmet and other publications. So it truly is the feeling of living like royalty. You are both living like royalty and you're treated like royalty.
But not all royalty wants glitz and glamour. At the Hard Rock Casino, their definition of luxury involves different kinds of precious gems. The Hard Rock's high rollers are picked up in purple SUVs instead of limos. And the VIP services are more likely to include poolside blackjack than haute cuisine.
The hip, young high roller that comes here and stays at our suite. I mean, he's got a setting. It's not the old brocade curtains. It's not the shag rug. I mean, this is definitely a more modern room. We've got the large screen TV. We've got a great stereo system. So when they come here, they're coming here to play.
MJ Maynard is head of VIP services at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's her job to make sure all the special guests of the casino are taken care of.
How's Scott doing? How's Scott doing? Is Scott having a good time?
Scott is having a great time.
Is he? Okay. Just tell him I'll check on him later. You got it.
Working with casino manager RJ Denman, MJ makes certain the high rollers at the Hard Rock are cared for in the unique Hard Rock way, which usually doesn't include caviar and imported coffee.
When we bring our high rollers here to the Hard Rock, and they're used to staying at a suite up on the Strip, well, they're not used to this. I mean, they're used to the Butler, the sunken tub, probably 3,000 more square footage than what you see here. But what they don't have, and what we have here at the Hard Rock, is the atmosphere, the fun, the people. Take a look at the pool outside right now. You'll see a lot of, there's a lot to look at, very easy on the eyes. So our high rollers come here. And when they check into the hotel, I may say, if you're used to staying at the mansion at the MGM, you know, don't be surprised. You know, we have a great room for you. But I'll tell them what you're coming here for is a great time. It's a young, exciting, rock and roll kind of crowd. So that's what they come here for.
The Hard Rock is big on atmosphere, but small in stature.
That was my 1,500. That was my 1,500.
For a high roller like Paul Baker, the intimacy of the Hard Rock is more appealing than some of the high-end luxury properties down the street.
For instance, you know, when you're at the Bellagio, you're at the blackjack table, you want to go up to your room, you got to take, you know, 20-minute walk to the elevator, up to the concourse, across the hall, and by the time you get to your room, you forgot why you went there. At the Hard Rock, it's 2 minutes. I went down to the pool on Saturday. It is a mob scene. Those cabanas are like gold.
Along the perimeter of this tropical paradise are the private VIP cabanas, which are always reserved for the high rollers and the special celebrity guests. MJ and RJ spend every day playing a delicate game of roulette as they decide who among their premium guests will get a cabana and who will not.
And then a cabana, I mean, look at this cabana. MJ, the best manager ever of a hotel, gave that to me.
According to these players, the excellent treatment would continue even if they weren't gambling more per hand than some people make in a year.
And it's not like anybody here is saying, hey, you know, Scott, you know, you got to go play, you know, $5,000 a hand or else we're not going to be able to, you know, have you back or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just, we play, you know, we play blackjack. We win some, we lose some. But, you know, either way, it's when the week's over, you're going to have fun regardless.
High roller Tom Kelly, who plays here most every weekend and is considered a whale when it comes to how much he gambles, says he tries not to take advantage of the perks they offer, but he certainly doesn't turn them down.
I really don't ask for much. I mean, I go to all the fights and I go to the shows and dinners and Laker games, but I really don't ask for too much. I'm pretty easy. They treat me pretty much like family here. I mean, everyone's real cool, but I think even if I wasn't a big gambler, if I didn't play, I mean, you know, I know everyone here, everyone's outgoing and fun.
High rollers who want to stay by the pool yet have an itch to play some cards are welcome at the exclusive swim-up blackjack tables. It's here that a young and wealthy dot-commer like Paul Baker may find himself sharing a VIP table with a famous and wealthy former basketball star like Dennis Rodman.
You know what? I'm one of the top 5 whales in the world. You know, I spend a lot of money, you know. And
our hotel has something that no other hotel here in Las Vegas has. We have fun. We have excitement. We have great-looking people everywhere. I've had high rollers check into our hotel, and they look around. They say, "Everybody here is beautiful."
According to Scott Van Pelt, the perks and eye candy help cushion the blow when inevitably the house catches up and the high roller walks away with high losses.
You know, there have been nights when you come out on the wrong side of the stick and you just go upstairs and you think, what just happened to me? But you're still at the Hard Rock, and so it's still good. It's still all fun.
One thing you don't find a lot of at the Hard Rock is privacy. There are no hidden tunnels or private enclaves for the high rollers at the Hard Rock.
Someone is sleeping right now. When it comes down, this is his game. You can bet 3 hands at 5,000, not 10, and he put $250,000 up in the cage. I should be back about 10 o'clock. If you need me, give me a call. Okay.
Even the high roller gambling area, named for Jimi Hendrix's famous peacock vest, is out in the open.
There's a lot of people that kind of watching the peacock because there's a lot of money being thrown around. And, you know, it's nice. It's nice to be watched.
And sometimes it's harder to manage the attention seeker than it is the private player.
You can tell just by looking at a VIP or whaler if they're going to be a problem, if they're going to be the type of person that wants to be in the public's eye, or it's going to be a quiet person and wants to be in a room by himself and nobody around. As soon as you meet this person, you'll be able to tell.
One thing you might not be able to tell, however, is what the high roller will want in terms of dining, which is why Las Vegas restaurants have everything the taste buds can imagine and more. While there is plenty to do and see at the Hard Rock, one group of players you are unlikely to see is the Asian high rollers. The Hard Rock admits it doesn't really offer what the high-rolling Asian player is after, but there are other hotels that make it a point to attract high rollers from the Far East.
These are folks that, again, the very cream of the crop, the biggest of the big, the whales, the premium players. You're talking about people that bet $100,000 a hand, $150,000, $200,000 a hand. And there are maybe about 100 to 200 of these people in the world, primarily Asians.
Casinos recognize that American dot-commers aren't the only young entrepreneurs finding great wealth at a younger age. That's why they have people all over the world targeting new wealth and looking for the potential whales. And once they discover one, they go after him. In Asia, food is more than just about nourishment. It's about ceremony and tradition. And if a casino wants to lure and keep the Asian high roller, it must be prepared to offer fine and authentic Asian cuisine.
We will provide them whatever type of culinary experience they are asking for.
Hello, Mr. Chan, how are you? Welcome to Shanghai Lily. Your table is ready for you. Please follow me.
We have a wonderful Asian restaurant, Shanghai Lily, which has private dining rooms. We have a phenomenal Asian chef. The restaurant has won numerous awards, and our Asian guests really appreciate that.
We've gone to great efforts to secure a Chinese chef that has the experience and, in many cases, a personal connection or relationship with some of these high rollers, knowing what their preferences are, the pace at which they like to eat, what specialities to bring in when we understand that a particular high roller is about to visit us.
Providing authentic cuisine means having authentic equipment. These woks are flown in from Hong Kong at the cost of $15,000 per wok. They're more powerful than other woks and therefore provide more heat for cooking.
Believe it or not, the Asian high roller, in my experience, can definitely pick out or comment upon the fact that this food was prepared with not enough heat, with not enough of that smoky nuance that might only come from a piece of equipment with that much power.
The high roller can also identify and appreciate special touches by the chef, particularly when it means extra good luck at the tables. This tasty crustacean has been cracked open, the meat taken out of it for use in the dish, and then expertly reassembled to be dipped in gold leaf.
We also find that many times the opulence of the dish is quite key to the success of the presentation. In a setting like this, like Shanghai Lily, one of the items in highest demand is live fish, live seafood, as fresh as that can possibly be.
Fine dining and drinking are important to high rollers of any nationality, and even those high rollers who aren't fans of authentic Cantonese delicacies are treated to fine wine and cuisine courtesy of Mandalay Bay's other restaurants.
Well, I think a lot of times with our high rollers, fine wine and gambling kind of seem to have this niche where they seem to go hand in hand. And so in Las Vegas, it's a very competitive market for your high rollers. And any edge that you can have on your competition is always a great advantage.
And another advantage is Andrew's priceless palate. He takes his job very seriously. And in true Las Vegas fashion, Andrew has created a gimmick for delivering the wines to his patrons. Meet the Ariel's Wine Angel. Suspended by cabling, she moves effortlessly around the wine tower to retrieve any of the spectacular wines Andrew has available.
Well, in addition to the famous wine tower, we also have about 6 wine cellars that I utilize because I have over 55,000 bottles of wine kind of in-house. And in my rare wine room, where we keep a lot of our old wines that are throwing sediment, I have a row of wines. There's 5 bottles side by side that are worth about $250,000.
Andrew even created an e-wine list, which any PDA-carrying, techno-savvy, wealthy.comer with an interest in fine wine will appreciate. Does the high roller really consider these special and unusual perks when deciding which casino to visit? In Andrew's experience, the answer is a definitive yes.
As a matter of fact, just last week, we stole a player, if you will, from another casino who is a high roller, and came into Oriel, knew about our wine collection, had a great experience, loved the food, loved the wine, and has been in twice in less than almost 2 weeks. And now we've got him, and he basically made that clear to us. So that's a great thing for both the casino and the restaurant.
Fine wine is also one of the draws to Valentino's at the Venetian. There, renowned chef Luciano Pellegrini has created a special dining environment for his high-rolling guests. Chef Pellegrini says it's fun to serve the new high rollers because they're eager and willing to try anything he puts in front of them.
New guys coming in and building their own experience and just being more exuberant with the choices and how they experience the whole dining affair.
And it usually happens in the $1 Million Room, so named for the exclusive wine collection and for the level of player who is invited to dine here. The personal service has no price tag, and the cuisine is free to the high roller whose tastes are as expensive as his suits. And on the other end of the strip, nestled in the corner of the top floor of Mandalay Bay, high rollers can enjoy the atmosphere and ambiance of the hippest and most exclusive social spot on the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome to the House of Blues Foundation Room.
The Foundation Room is a private, exclusive club. You can go to our spa and pay cash for a massage. You can go to our restaurants and pay cash for whatever meal you want, but the Foundation Room is really exclusive. You have to be a member of the Foundation Room or be a guest of our casino to actually have access to this phenomenal club.
Eclectic and exclusive, this club offers its members a place to relax, complete with fine dining, surrounded by treasures collected from all over the world. Topped off with the finest view on the Strip. Access to the fabulous perks the hotels offer is restricted to the high roller who is willing to wager thousands per hand at the tables. There's no charge to the high roller or his guests for the imported caviar or the cultured pearls. The luxury suites and private poolside cabanas are also free. The gold leaf lobster, the Cristal champagne, the ringside tickets or the private helicopter tour. Everything the high roller asks for is usually provided. The question is, how much does it cost the casino?
They probably figure, I'm going to keep making money whatever I do professionally. Maybe they look at it as an investment, and that's fine. I think it'll be a good return on investment for them, and it's definitely a good return on investment for me.
And when you're giving out bottles of Petrus 82 and Chateau Lafite Rothschild at every meal at $5,000 a bottle, it doesn't take long to get to $1 million if a player comes in a few times.
You've got to be a big casino with deep pockets, with a huge customer base to offset the volatility that comes to dealing to these folks.
High rollers love the perks that come along with being a big player at a casino. The helicopter rides, the yacht trips, the fine dining. But experts and gamblers alike know at the end of the day, it's the casino that comes out a winner.
If you want to make money in gambling, own the casino. Okay, that's the way to make money in gambling, and these guys know that.
Denny Mason realized that a long time ago, and once upon a time planned to do something about it.
The original plan was to come out here and be an attorney for a casino, and then I hoped that would lead to owning a casino, because at least at that point, before my brain got too pickled, I thought that it was smarter to be on the casino side of the tables than the side that I've ended up being on.
That plan didn't work for Denny Mason, but it did work for this man. George Maloof knows how to make money, both at the blackjack table and at the lunch table. A high roller whose family business holdings include the Sacramento Kings basketball team. This 36-year-old entrepreneur is taking the biggest gamble of all, opening a casino.
Well, I think at a very young age, I became very fascinated by Las Vegas and just became very passionate about this city. And I knew one day I wanted to do something large, or to actually own a casino. And just the allure of the excitement and the city, and that's why I wanted to do that.
When it comes to luring the hip, trendy high roller, George is ready to rumble.
Well, a great opportunity that we have is we're going to be the newest place in town, and all the attention is going to be on us. So we'll be the latest and greatest for a while at least, and that'll be fun.
George Maloof is a young guy. He's in his mid-30s. He's sharp. He and his brothers own the Sacramento Kings in the NBA. They know how to have a good time. And they're going to build something that's going to compete with the Hard Rock and with Mandalay Bay for that younger, hipper crowd. The question is, how high do they want to go for gamblers?
It was the success of Maloof's first casino, the Fiesta, that led him to consider another, bigger casino.
The whole bottom part of the pool is this lavender color base. The cabanas light up like lanterns around the area of the pool, so at night it's very colorful and very seductive.
With the Palms, he plans to take a bite out of the business he sees places like Mandalay Bay and the Hard Rock Hotel eating up. And as a young man in touch with his target generation, he has a unique perspective.
And from time to time I gamble, so I know what that person is looking for. And I wanted to create a place that would be the complete Las Vegas experience. There's certain things a high roller appreciates: the attention, the service. Because we're not a big mega resort, we can focus on a little more on the service end of it. And I think that the high roller will appreciate the charm and maybe the attention that they're going to get at the Palms. That whole back level are cabanas, and then over here are skyboxes. It's actually a concert hall. We can hold up to 1,500 people.
If Maloof seems confident in his new venture, it's because he knows the high roller world intimately as a player.
And this would be a perfect place for me. Even if I didn't own this casino, I would love to come up here. And it's kind of the ultimate high roller area because it has the most spectacular views in the city.
Close to 40 million people visit Las Vegas each year. 20 million of those fly either commercially or on their own planes. There's no shortage of visitors, and there's certainly no shortage of accommodations.
I've been to Vegas, probably more times than I count, probably more times than I should have, and I can honestly say I've never had a bad time. Maybe a bad hour, maybe a bad 2 hours, but never a bad day, and never a bad weekend.
While casino owners devise ways to appease the clientele, especially the hip new crowd that is shrouding the Las Vegas Strip, the up-and-coming whales continue to indulge and grow, even knowing the odds are against them.
It just, when you win, it's the best feeling in the world because, you just come out here, it's like free money. And it's just, it's euphoric, it's cool, it's a great feeling when you're winning. When you're on a roll, you feel like you just can't lose, but when you're losing, it sucks. It's not fun to lose.
Michael Jordan can hit three-pointers, and I'm sure he gets a rush out of that. But when you're splitting threes and doubling down 11s, and you got mega money out there, and you see a bus card come over and the whole table just cheers. It's like you won the Super Bowl.
Last year, it was had quite a few successful stays here at the Hard Rock, but you know that if you come back enough, eventually the house will catch up to you, and they've caught up to me this year, so that's how that goes.
But with this new breed of gambler comes a new attitude about partying in Las Vegas. Win or lose, it's all in the name of fun.
Monetarily, I'm down. Spiritually, I'm up. And I'd like to be a stockholder in the Hard Rock. In fact, Peter Morton, is it Peter Morton? Just give me a call, Peter. I got some money. It's not playing well in the tech stocks. I need to get into something a little more stable.
So in the long run, when the chips are down, spirits may be lifted by gold leaf lobsters, rose petal massages, magnums of champagne, caviar carts, heaven-sent wine couriers, private bungalows, personal butlers, and poolside cabanas, keeping the new breed of high roller coming back for more.